Welcome to Veteran Voices, SITREP, with your hosts, Tom and Chris Faust.
Welcome to Veteran Voices. I am your co-host, Chris Faust, and with me is my dad, Tom.
Right.
And today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and how it can be an exciting and fulfilling career path for veterans, offering multiple opportunities for creativity, independence, and financial success. And we're just going to kind of go through some things that veterans can explore in a number of different career options for entrepreneurs. So first thing we'll talk about is small business ownership. So one thing you can consider doing is starting your own small business based on your skills, interest, expertise. It could be a service base, could be a retail operation or an online venture. The beautiful thing about doing your own thing is you just kind of figure out what you want to do and, go for it. Do a little research on the market demand. If there's any competition, how profitable could it be? And just kind of get a general idea of your of what you want to do for your business before launching it. So you identify your passion, skills, whether it's leadership, logistics, technical expertise. Just consider what you can do that you already have experience for, so it makes it easy enough to transition into a potential business opportunity.
Yeah, and the good thing to do is to kind of brainstorm the potential business ideas, things that you might be interested in, particularly things that have a high market demand. You can do some market research. You can assess the needs of some audience that you think that you are familiar with that you can help. You want to make sure you check out the competition and know what they're doing, and maybe choose a niche so that you have a narrow market that you deal with, instead of trying to sell to the whole world or do business with the whole world, because that's not going to work very well. So you look for gaps in the marketplace, things that align with your skills. Your skills and experience will have a lot to do with this, or interests. And it doesn't necessarily have to be skills or interests that you learned in the military. It could be something you were interested in before. Just whatever really is a passion for you is the place to go. And then you want to develop a business plan and just kind of make sure that you understand, your outline of the concept, the target market, the product or services that you're going to provide, and have a good marketing strategy. And you might want to maybe talk with an accountant if you need to, or somebody to get some good financial projections, because you don't want to jump into something and particularly spend money on something if you don't have a good plan of how you're going to run it. Don't have a good roadmap for the business. You can talk to other investors and other potential partners if you need to.
Yeah. Then the next step on that too is kind of deciding what legal structure you want for your business. Whether you want to be, a sole proprietor of it, if you want to, have a partnership with somebody, if you want to make it a corporation or a limited liability company. You just got to consider different factors of, what the liability protection is, tax implications, administrative requirements, and you just want to make sure you look at all that when you're choosing the right structure. And then going forward, kind of touches on to what my dad was saying, was you want to have a good idea of projected or kind of like a guesstimate of what the profits could be, so that way you can secure financing if you need it. Because there's going to be a bunch of different financing options that you can find for your small business, whether it's your own personal savings, if you're going to try and get a loan. It's kind of like that show Shark Tank, where somebody comes to a bunch of different potential investors with their idea of, hey, this is my product, this is what it does, this is what I foresee it doing based on, consumer research, things like that you might have done before that. Because the more information you have there, the more that they can make a better decision and say, hey, this guy knows his stuff. Hey, this is going to be a profitable opportunity for me. So it increases your chances of potentially getting some financing to help you get that started off without having to dip into your own money as much.
Mm-hmm. And once you have all that together and you're ready to actually get started, you will need to register your business. You're going to have to get it, create an LLC, or if you're doing it as a sole proprietorship, create a corporation, whatever it is that you're going to do. You need to find out with your state what the local laws are and make sure you have the proper licenses, permits for anything you're going to be doing. You do want to make sure you comply with all the regulatory requirements, and if you need to, be a good idea to consult with some legal and financial advisors to make sure that you really have everything working properly before you get going, because you don't want the government coming after you saying you did this wrong and fining you or something like that. So you do want to make sure you do that. And then the next thing, and along with that, is once you know what it is you're doing, you want to build a strong brand, a good identity. So what is the value and the mission that you're going to provide? What is your unique selling proposition? You need to come up with a good, memorable business name and a logo and an identity that people will recognize over time. It's not going to happen immediately, but in time, people will recognize your brand, and that's what's important. You got to keep your brand in front of them. I mean, you see, everybody knows who McDonald's is. They've been selling billions of hamburgers for decades, since the 50s. So everybody knows who they are. So why would they continue to advertise? Right? Mm. And they do. They advertise a lot. They spend a ton of money on it because they want to keep that brand in front of your face. They want to make sure that you constantly see those golden arches and want to go there instead of Burger King or wherever else you might go. Mm-hmm. So all of this building the brand is very important to continually keep people interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, and that'll definitely help out with, the competition is, it's going to be a, dog eat dog world out there. So you're going to want to make sure that you have as much, if not more of a presence if you need to compete with others that are doing the same general idea. And part of that goes with marketing your business. So TV commercials and, radio ads, things like that can cost a lot of money. Those are good ways to get the word out there because it's large spreading areas. But another thing you can implement, and especially in the day and age now, is, figuring out a way to use social media, website, email marketing, advertising, any one of those social platforms can help get your information out there. And then if you have a decent following, or at least you kind of generally know based on consumer research how your stuff is done, word of mouth referrals are also a good way to go too. And if that word of mouth is pointing them to said website or something like that to give more information, then that's a good way to start marketing that. So that's something to look into. And then regardless of whether you're just starting up or if you're established in it, you just need to make sure you provide excellent customer service. That's one of the biggest things nowadays that will typically drive people to or away from a business is if they have a good customer experience, they're paying for a product, they expect, to at least be treated with respect, with dignity, with, to say, hey, I'm giving you money for your services. Okay, you need to provide it. So the more memorable you can be with that in providing that customer experience is going to set you apart from a lot of others. Because there are plenty of businesses out there that just go in there, they have a product, they take your money. Okay, thanks, have a good day. But it lacks that personal experience. And one bad situation can ruin the image of the entire thing, or at least that entire store, depending on what it is. So one of the good things that you just have to also be able to do, which you'll learn in the military, is to be able to adapt and evolve to situations. The market is going to consistently change. Customer needs are going to change. There's going to be other people that might say, hey, this is a good idea. I want to do it too. So you need to be able to make sure that you stay continuously innovative, evolve your business model and products and services as needed to stay relevant. And as new technology and things come out, make sure you embrace that change and find a way to make it work for you.
And not everybody has a unique idea that something unique that they want to do that is different than somebody else is doing, right? We don't all have brand new ideas, but there's a lot of good ideas already out there. And this is where things like franchises can come into play, because it can give you a pathway into entrepreneurship that, gives you an advantage right off the bat. They already have, for instance, a known brand. They have a product. All you have to know is how to run the business. And most franchises will teach you how to do that. Mm-hmm. And so as you learn to get into the franchise, you may have to purchase rights, and this can be expensive. Some of them cost $10,000 or $20,000. Some can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, like a McDonald's or someplace like that. Those are expensive, but you can start with something smaller too. So it depends what kind of investment you want to make. but they have a recognizable brand. They have the trademarks. They have the systems down. They teach you how to do everything. And it's just really good to sometimes have a plan set up for you in advance. You just get, give them ongoing royalties or something for the brand name and stuff, but you run the business and you can make some pretty good money with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you're looking into franchising, you also want to make sure that, if there's some out there that interest you, see what benefits they might have for veterans, because some franchises offer advantages for veterans, whether it's access to the established business models with, good track records of success, built-in brand recognition, customer loyalty, and comprehensive training. And you could even potentially get financing assistance through special programs for veterans. That way, is because some like to, American companies, they want to reward military service and veterans that did that thing. So there's those opportunities out there. You just got to look for them. And then obviously you want to conduct thorough research, as with anything, before you identify which opportunity you want to go with, because anything that aligns with your interests, skills, your capabilities, investment capabilities, you just want to consider those factors and the trends of how the market's been going, because there might be franchises that have been established for a while, but they might be not as aggressive in the market. So you might not be making as much profit. It might be easier on some aspects, but just things you got to keep in mind. So when you're researching them, just kind of look at trends. So that way you make sure you get on the right side of the trends to be able to get a good startup and then be able to adapt if the trends change.
You do want to be able to choose the right franchise. There's a lot of different kind of opportunities out there depending on your preferences and strengths and your goals. I mean, you really got to think about what it is you want to do. What are you looking for? And you want to look for franchises that have really strong systems set up, good training programs, things that keep you growing in the business and make sure that your business grows and stays successful. You don't want to just be giving them money and have no help from them. And you got to choose the right background depending on what your skills are. So it could be food service, it could be retail, fitness, healthcare, home services. I mean, there's so many things out there. Mm-hmm. Computers, computer repair. There's just a lot of different areas. Yeah. And then make sure that you look at all their documentation before you commit to anything. You want to make sure you understand that what their disclosure documents are. What are they going to charge you? How are they going to support you? Mm-hmm. Are they going to give you financial support, or do they require a certain amount of performance from you before that, that they might kick you out or something, right? You got to make sure that all of these things are clear up front, and make sure to get some legal advice before signing any documents.
Mm. Yeah. And then you can also consider, veteran friendly franchises too, because those will typically be, and at least have more lingo that you may understand, or at least they might be worded differently, because, legal ease is going to be different no matter where you get. And sometimes it can get really confusing. So you just want to make sure, if there are some veteran friendly franchises that might kind of, nudge you in that direction, or at least to, look and see how they're doing things. And then you want to attend, franchise expos and seminars. Might not be on the specific franchise that you're looking to get, but, industry events. If you know the industry you want to go into, those events are probably going to have different franchising opportunities, a chance to meet other franchisors face to face and ask questions. And they can give you information on, maybe their business models, their support systems, the investment requirements, kind of how they got started and what they are doing. And, and knowledge is power. So the more knowledge you can get with any research that you can do is just going to help you make your decision and benefit you in the future.
Mm-hmm. And be sure to explore the various financing options available. There's small business loans, veteran-specific loan programs, different kinds of financing arrangements that might be offered by the franchisors themselves. I'm sure they work with lenders and things to help people in unique needs. And for veteran entrepreneurs, it's they might have tailored financing solutions and things that are special for that. And then make sure you get the proper training and go through it all. Get that comprehensive training, learn about the service, how the business runs, what their systems are that are in place to just keep things running smoothly. And then if you do this, then just make sure you launch it solidly, make sure you plan to grow and have a solid plan in place, a business plan. And be sure to implement the franchisor's proven systems, because they have things that they know work. There's a certain way that they do things. And if you just follow the plan will work. You just do that.
Look into the startup resources that, might have, whether it's, from that franchise or just in the research that you've done, but take advantage of any startup resources and support services you can find, whether they're available to veterans or just, anybody. There's, government programs, nonprofit organizations, and other private initiatives. And these resources can offer guidance on business planning, funding, marketing strategies, and, legal considerations for a new venture, because you're not going to know everything. So take advantage of any resources you can find. One of these is the Veterans Business Outreach Centers, and they provide free business counseling, training, and resources to veteran entrepreneurs and their military spouses, if you happen to have one. These centers offer assistance with business planning, feasibility analysis, marketing strategies, financial management. And then my dad touched on a little earlier, the Small Business Administration. They offer lots of resources for veterans, training courses, webinars, workshops, and they can, provide specialized assistance to veteran-owned small businesses, access to, potential access to capital, government contracting, and procurement assistance. Mm-hmm.
And there's more. There's other places like Boots for Business. It's an entrepreneurial educational and training program offered by the Small Business Association. And it helps. It's also part of their transition assistance program for military personnel. And kind of that's what we're all about here, is transitioning to civilian life. And so these programs will help you do that. And they'll help you, explore the possibilities, create business plans, look for resources. There's the Veterans Entrepreneur Portal. It's another program by the Small Business Association. And they give you resources and tools and information specifically for veterans to help get your business plan going, financing options, whatever, government contracting. If you're doing that, they may talk about some franchising opportunities, and definitely want to be attending network events, especially network events for veterans, where maybe you can find others interested in the same thing.
Yeah, Bunker Labs is another nonprofit organization that does the same general thing. One of the things that they like to say is they provide access to mentors, which I think is just going to be a help anywhere, industry experts who can help veterans launch and scale their businesses. And then you have the Patriot Boot Camp, which is an intensive training program for veterans, service members, and military spouses, with immersive workshops, mentorship, networking opportunities, market strategies. So if you like, high speed, learn a lot of stuff, learn it quick, Patriot Boot Camp's a good option to look into as well.
Yeah, and then there's the International Franchise Association, and it's an interesting group because they can connect veterans with the various franchising opportunities and resources, and they can also help with discounted franchise fees, financial assistance, more mentorship programs, things like that. And mentorship programs are really good things to get into because you're learning from someone who's been there, who really knows what they're doing. They can kind of coach you through and help you learn and really be successful. Yeah, and then there's the Entrepreneurship Boot Camp for Veterans. It's a program that is offered by various universities and business schools, and they can help provide some learning opportunities, mentorship, help veterans with disabilities in particular who are interested in entrepreneurship. So a lot of these things are just available, and there's really is a lot of stuff on mentorship that is very helpful.
I think one of the biggest things that you can do is, seeking mentorship from, experienced people who've been in the business for a while. Because having someone with knowledge kind of like, in your back pocket to help you out is going to do that. So a lot of these corporations or nonprofit organizations that you will run into have a focus on that. So SCORE, Veterans Fast Launch Initiative, they're dedicated to helping small businesses and offering veterans their initiative, which is free mentorship and training to veteran entrepreneurs. So you get the mentors are experienced, they volunteer their time. And then we mentioned Bunker Labs as a startup resource, but they have a veteran in residence program, which it's an initiative that pairs the veteran entrepreneurs with experienced mentors in a 6-month intensive training program. It gives them access to workspace, networking events, and the mentors in the program offer guidance on strategy, fundraising, marketing, and potentially scaling as well.
Mm-hmm. And the American Corporate Partnership is a nonprofit organization that helps veterans and kind of connects you with corporate mentors, leading companies across the various industries. So when they hook you up, they can provide one-on-one guidance and help you navigate various career transitions. These mentors can offer insights into their industries. They can share career advice and just help expand your professional network. Then there's another entrepreneur boot camp for veterans where these programs will help you learn about a business, how to run a business. You can work in partnership with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, the IVMF. And these mentors offer advice on business planning, marketing strategies, access to capital, navigating the whole entrepreneurial landscape.
Another cool thing too is, a lot of things that we see, is for, veterans in general, regardless, but there's actually one out there called VWise, which is Veteran Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship. Their mentoring program is specifically for female veterans and their military spouses. And it includes a mentoring component to support participants in launching and growing their businesses. Once again, they're experienced entrepreneurs and business leaders that provide the personalized guidance, feedback, and encouragement to the veteran women that want to be entrepreneurs and small business owners as well.
So once you get this figured out, where you're going to go, what you're going to do, you've picked your business or franchise, you've lined up some training, some information, so you get more comfortable with that. You're going to have to start looking for financial assistance as well, and there's a lot of it out there. Some of it's loans. You can get small business loans from the Small Business Administration. You can do that. There's also, I'm sure there are grants available as well, things that you may not have to pay back. But you have to look into all these different kinds of things because there are various loan programs and financing to start up businesses. And so you really want to check into as many of these as possible to be able to hopefully have as little money out of pocket as you can as you get the business going.
Yeah, but also making sure that you're not, going to be having to make, payments back that are too big for what you can do for, for getting started as well. So, there's a whole bunch of different places that can, potentially loan money and give financial assistance. So, just kind of speed running it through. You've got Veterans Business Outreach Centers. You've got, VA home loans potentially if you have a house. If you take out a second loan or a, line of credit kind of thing on your house, that might give you a little bit of extra money that you need, and they just tie it into your mortgage payment. GI Bill is mainly for education, but if you need to go to school, if you want, whether you want to be getting your MBA, which will help you, get that in, because some places might require you to have an MBA before they'll be willing to loan you some money. So it's another thing to look into as well.
Mm-hmm. And then, if you've been injured during your military service, there's various disability and compensation that you can get, and pension plans and things that you may be able to get extra help, and some with tax-free monthly payments. And you really need to look into that. And even if you don't think that you were injured, that you managed to get out of this in one piece, you should check with the VA and make sure, because there's a lot of issues, PTSD related and otherwise, that will be considered a disability that you may be able to get some help with. And then the military transition assistance programs, where you can get financial planning, counseling, transitioning to civilian life help, learn about budgeting, saving, managing your debt, because you don't want to go into too much debt starting your business. You want the business to support itself. as much as possible. And so you can attend workshops and seminars and various counseling sessions as you transition to civilian life.
Yeah, and there will be other different state and local government programs that could potentially offer something, multiple nonprofit organizations and charities. So just make sure that you do your research so you know where you're getting your money from, if it's reputable enough that you're willing to kind of, take that risk as well. Because, while they take a risk on you, you're also taking a risk on them that they're not going to just do some crazy stuff with, basically, like calling in your debts or something like that. So just research.
And a good way to do a lot of this research is through networking events. So you can attend various events. There's online networking like Alignable. There's in-person ones that you can go to, hopefully in town near you if you live in a big enough area. But there are a number of different online ones that you can do. But all these networking opportunities help you learn from others. You can share ideas, and people are more willing than you might think to share their ideas and their, what they've learned. People like to help. They like to share. So there's, career fairs like Hiring Our Heroes Career Fairs is a program of the Chamber of Commerce where they provide these networking events across the country to connect veterans and service members and military spouses with employers that are committed to hiring veterans. And these are really good things to go to. They'll have booths for you to get information, networking sessions, help you work on your resume, panel discussions and things that can just give you a lot of information to get you on track.
Yeah, and Bunker Labs we mentioned a little bit ago, they have something called Bunker Brews, which it brings together veterans and entrepreneurs, business leaders, investors, mentors. Just kind of like a very social thing of have a couple of drinks and talk about these things here. And then you've got the Veterans in Business Network. They do conferences that focus on promoting veteran-owned businesses, facilitating connections between different veterans, corporate partners. They do, keynote speakers, panel discussions. It's just a good overall opportunity as well that you can look into.
Yeah, and the American Corporate Partners is a place that hosts networking events, mentorship programs, and things for veterans specifically. You can get some corporate mentors from leading companies in various sectors. And they want to provide opportunities for veterans and to expand your professional networks. So these are good people to work with. The VSO, the Veterans Service Organization, they have various meetings that you can go to at places like the American Legion, the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Disabled American Veterans. Oftentimes they host meetings, various social events. So you should look for those and see what else that you can find. And these provide opportunities to connect with fellow veterans, share your experiences, so they can help you in your transition besides helping you learn about what you might want to do in a business.
Yeah, and then just kind of tying off the last couple little things here with it, veteran-owned business expos and trade shows kind of says it as theirs. It's already veteran-owned businesses that will be more than willing to help with networking opportunities, potential information for, suppliers, buyers, investors. Then you have the Entrepreneurship Program alumni events. That's actually more of a Syracuse University thing, but it could be more widespread. Just have to research on that for alumni events, things like that. And then military transition assistance programs also offer different seminars and things that you can do. So it's really just a matter of researching and finding what's in your location and what's readily available to go and do. No, more information never hurts.
Yeah, so we really hope that all this information that we can provide for you will help. We'll provide links to the various organizations so that you can look up some more information. But yeah, we just want to be able to give you as much information as possible. And I know we only just touched on things, but do your research, find out what's out there, see what you can find. You have interests, you have ideas and plans and goals in your life, and put those to use and see if there's a way that you can get a business going around it. You can work for somebody else, or you can learn to do your own thing. And that's a lot of work too, but it could be more rewarding. Mm-hmm. So you really want to take advantage of as much of this information and as many of these programs as you can. You have anything else to add, Chris, before we go?
No, nothing else on this one. Just you touched on it. Just do your research on there. Hopefully we're able to help. We'll provide links to, what we can in this here to give you a little information to get you started or, continue your journey through it. And we just appreciate you watching, tuning in, and hope it helps. If it does, spread the word, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. All right. So until next time.
Till next time.